Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Bunny or Gun Bunny, and today is the start of something I've been really wanting to do. Now, if you have read my channel description or heard me talk in any of my videos, I'm a cosplayer. But with a lot of stuff happening with my gun shop and cosplay is taking so long to acquire, customize, and or make, it takes me a while to make cosplay content. Thankfully, winter has, in its stupidness, given me the chance to really buckle down and grind through some cosplays, and I'm so excited to start sharing those with you, as this is part of my channel and part of my journey in general. As you know, I have shown you some cosplays, especially in competitions and testing them out for competitions. The cosplays I did test out before were closet cosplays, and some may be coming back, some may be getting updated or improved, and some other cosplays you may have seen, like my Mad Scientist cosplay, will be getting upgrades soon. But while we wait for those, I wanted to show you a little bit more of what I can do. Now, my background for sewing is generally historical sewing. I have studied art and historical sewing for a really long time. I've worked in museums, I've studied in Italy, and I've spent a lot of time doing research on these things, practicing these things. So I know a lot more about historical dresses, historical fashion, sewing techniques, and general stuff like that I do about guns. I love combining the two, and so I thought I would make a couple of really cosplay dedicated videos. This first one is going to be about the making of my Buggs Bunny cosplay. And this is where I cut in as voiceover bunny to let you know that I actually had to split this first video up into 2 videos, really wanting to show you every step of this process. I realized while editing this video that I had gotten to 20 minutes of edited footage, and that wasn't even the completed project yet. So that means I will be splitting it up into 2 videos, and the next half of this video will be posted next Thursday. If you want to see more about the concept and design behind it, why I decided to do design things the way I did, etc., look forward to my upcoming video. I think it's gonna be called Deep Dive into Cosplay or something, and you'll see that coming soon. But without further ado, let's show you how I made this cosplay that is sitting behind me. This channel is not monetized through YouTube, and I do not do sponsorships unless Uncrustables wants to sponsor me. I am only funded through my Patreon and my PO box, where you're welcome to send me things. If you are interested, these will both be appearing on screen now. Otherwise, other great ways to support me are to watch my videos, to like and comment on my videos, to share my videos with your friends, because the YouTube algorithm fucking hates me. Look, I have tits and guns. The YouTube algorithm is gonna fucking, not be happy about that. So if you want more Gun Bunny content, please make sure to turn that notification bell on. Please make sure to subscribe to try to support my channel. I post every Monday and Thursday if you are looking for my videos, and I have a bunch of social media, so you can look at these, on screen. I post on these varying degrees, and also just depending on how busy I get. After drafting out my first idea for my design, I started out by measuring out a gray bodycon-ish dress that I had, measuring out where I wanted to put the thigh holes, and cutting them out. I only really liked one of the thighs that I did, so I just used that as a template to cut out the second one. After adjusting the thighs a little bit, I tried it back on again to make sure that it all fit and there was enough space to have there be a snap in the crotch. I then took some leftover white fabric and kind of just draped it over the, body part of the gray fabric I had, to create the white patch on Buggs' stomach that you have. I basically just cut out the general shape that I needed, ironed that out because the fabric was so wrinkly before cutting out a neater fabric piece. And the reason I am speeding through this first part so quickly is you will soon discover. having the final white patch shape cut out, I basically folded over all of the edges and pinned it in place onto the gray, leotard dress shape before sewing it down into place with all of the edges hidden underneath as I folded them over. Sewed in some snaps to where I had the crotch attachments and folded over the raw edges on the gray of the leotard and pinned those down before sewing it all down. Now, having learned from my previous experience with sewing on the snaps that were on this little pre-cut piece of fabric with the sewing machine, I decided to say screw that and hand sew it because it was so hard to do it on the sewing machine because the snaps would get under the foot and it was just a pain in the ass. So next what I did was decided I was going to paint the ears. Now I had these little fur white ears that had come with a other set thing that I had ordered, and so basically what I did is I just done a technique I had done before for painting some of my cat ears, which was using very diluted acrylic paint to color the fur, drying it, combing it, and then recoloring it as I needed. I've seen people do this with airbrushing, but I didn't have an airbrush, and because of the quality of the fur or just how I did it, it didn't turn out that well. And this is where you find out why I've been speeding through these first few minutes, as I decided to change my entire mind on this project. So, slight update. I didn't like how the bunny ears looked, so redid them completely. Deciding to give up on the kind of weird looking painted fur look that came out of this, I ended up changing for covering these pre-existing ears in some fabric. Now I used some gray scrap fabric I had and some fake pink leather, basically just kind of tracing the shape I needed for the pink leather, for the pink, centers, cutting this out and really quickly just basting it into place on the ears. I then did a similar thing, but with wrapping the gray fabric around the back and the sides of the ears before hand sewing that all down, kind of covering up the edges of the pink fabric and rolling over the gray as I did so. I then decided I didn't really like how the seams looked on the gray and decided to hand sew lace around the seams of the gray and the pink to cover that up, which I actually think turned out looking really cute. Covering the old fabric in this gray, and I stitched on this, and so I said, oh no, this lace is cute. I'm gonna go full, like, sexy lingerie Buggs Bunny with this thing. And so then I decided my crappy ass just turning a dress into a bodysuit isn't gonna work. I didn't like it anyway, but I was like, fine, this is gonna be a quick cosplay. I'm just gonna pound it out. And then I was like, no, it's me. That's not fucking happening. And I remembered that a bunch more of this fabric is t-shirt. So, fuck this. I'm gonna redraft, I'm gonna remake it, I'm gonna do a pattern this time, or what can kind of come as a pattern. I'm basically using my LittleGunBunny leotard as the, like, template, and I'm gonna put it onto these, and I'm gonna do a lined and stiffened version. It's not gonna look exactly like this. I have some design ideas, but I'm basically, right now, what I'm just gonna do is cut out all the pieces for it based on this, and instead of being, like, the good seamstress and artist and cosplayer that I am, and actually drafting a pattern out like a normal person by taking measurements and stenciling and drawing on paper, I'm gonna be a chaos gremlin and just put fabric over it and kind of guesstimate the measurements and cut it up. It's fun because I can't care about grain or anything like that anyway, because it's just fucking scraps. So that's fun. But so yeah, basically gonna put it over, it's gonna be bigger than this, and I'm gonna cut it, and then hopefully I will have 2 full leotards so I can make one into a lining. I'm gonna start that now. I probably won't finish it tonight, so I'll film some of it, but I'm just fucking tired, so. Okay, so I got a lot further with this than I thought I would last night. Wait, you can't see me. So I got a lot further with this than I thought I would last night, so I'm gonna kind of go over what I did while ironing out the pieces. Yeah, things. Hunter, I love you, but you cannot be in here. You're being too distracting. So what I ended up doing last night was mostly cutting out pattern pieces. Or not pattern pieces, but like the pieces of the main bodice. I drew a little sketch of what I wanted the whole thing to look like. I kind of just guesstimated pieces, but I think I'm gonna have to add another piece to make it actually fit, because the pattern is a little bit different than what I'm going for. So I'll be fine. I just gotta clean up my desk a little. I cut out 2 pieces of everything so I can do one lining and one outdoor side. So this is the back piece that I did, and it's basically gonna be the back of the leotard. You know, it's might get a zipper. It might just be an over the head thing because it's gonna have crotch snaps anyway. I'm not sure. This project is a little bit intricate because I decided to kind of go with a lingerie look. So it's partially gonna be hand sewn, partially machine sewn, but that's that one piece. And then I have this piece, which is the frontal, you know, stomach piece. I also cut out long strips of fabric like this, which are going to actually get gathered and pleated like I did this last night by hand. And these are actually gonna go around the leg to add a little bit more frill, because I added lace to the ears, and I'm gonna add lace to those. I'm gonna have to sew those on. And then what I have is 4 of these side pieces. They go like this. Here, they have this extra allowance for the boob. Now, with all the fabric pieces cut out, I have lots and lots and lots of ironing to do. This fabric was extremely thin and a pain in the ass to work with, so after ironing, there was a lot of recutting. So I'm trying to retest this pattern piece I cut on the original, but somebody decided to sit on it. And so now I can't like actually get it to lay out flat and see which side is up and down, because I didn't mark it because I'm stupid. You're very helpful, dude. Oh, well, now she moves. That's great. Now, with all of my pieces ironed and laid out, I ironed on interfacing to the non-lining pieces, which is basically just to stiffen it. And then I started pinning all of the sides together, as you can see here, to make sure that they all fit together correctly, making any cuts and adjustments and testing it on my body as you see here to make sure, hey, this actually fits and this is a reasonable size because I didn't use a pattern or any real measurements. So basically as I'm pinning, instead of, basting and making a mock-up, I'm just pinning it, adjusting it as I go. You can see me here making like little adjustments to the length of things as I hold them up to my body, pin them together again, and adjust. Basically that's what I'm doing, is just adjusting all of the size, cutting a deeper V. And then I am going to cut out the white part. This I use basically the original gray stomach part that I made, and then ironed on the interfacing to it to make it stiff instead of using the original gray, which I will just use as the lining now. So I just had an extra gray stomach piece. And I pin those together to make sure that they look correct, and I also will fit check that on my actual body, making sure at every step that this will end up fitting me as like a normal human before I sew it all together. Once I have make sure all of the pieces fit together, I will pin them together and just start sewing straight seams down them. I don't really have to finish the edges for anything that's going. As I sew, there were lots of adjustments that had to be continually made, as again, I'm not really using a pattern, and as I sew things together and make decisions, there's little adjustments that keep being made. So lots and lots and lots of sewing later, I end up with the general first part of the bodysuit, which is basically just all of the body pieces put together. There are no sleeves, there's no crotch snaps, there's no crotch, section. I do actually have the, total leotard bodysuit thing put together in a general shape, which is so much nicer with the stiffened fabric. It actually feels like a real garment rather than just the really, really stretchy, loose fabric that I was using before. The strip for the zipper, and I guesstimated it, but luckily I cut exactly the right length. So what I'm gonna do now is just hand baste the zipper into place and then try it on and then figure out how I want to attach the straps before I sew in, I'm tired, the lining for the top part. Okay, so I have sewn in the zipper to the back, and now I get to fit check it, the whole thing with the zipper on, and see where I'm gonna go from there next. There's a few options. I can sew in the lining, sew in the hook and eye for the top of the zipper, or figure out what I'm gonna do with the straps, but I'm not sure yet until I test it. Right here, he's sitting on my lining. So with it all zipped up, it fits really well. The thing I need to figure out is the boob cups. I think I need to in a little bit, but I'm gonna try it on with a bra. But first, what I need to do before I do anything else is actually add a little flap for the crotch seam so that it can actually snap into place. So it'll connect these two pieces. But I'm probably first, actually, before I do anything else, trim the butt because there's a lot of extra fabric here. So I'm gonna cut out a little piece that kind of matches up with this. So I have the sleeve of one more shirt that I'm gonna cut off, and I'm gonna use this nice fabric for making the crotch. Hunter, you're in the way, my boy. I'm gonna line it up with this, and then I'm gonna guesstimate how much I will need. I'm actually, do I want to use this? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna actually keep this like thickened seam here to use for the snaps, so it'll be kind of like, you know, extra reinforced. Cutting out and marking all of where I want the crotch seam to be just takes a lot of little finagling, adjusting and finagling. I actually do measure out how far apart I want the snaps to be with my trusty dusty ruler, and then I basically just sew it all into place. Alright, so we see there's definitely gapping in the breast and there's definitely gapping around the butt. And on these waist seams. You will definitely be seeing a lot more of this cosplay in part 2. I hope you enjoyed today's video, seeing my journey through making this. I will probably be wearing this a lot more in videos, shorts, competition possibly. So keep an eye out for that. Bye!